Welcome to the first ULI Trends podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Grasso. This podcast series is intended to be a lead up of key topics and themes in our industry to ULI's annual Trends Conference, hosted on November 12th this year at the Hyatt Regency in downtown Salt Lake City. Today's series will focus on affordable housing in Utah with Salt Lake City Councilmember Victoria Petro and Blaser Ventures founder and president Brandon Blaser. Let's dive into the conversation. Victoria, as a champion of affordable housing, can you please help explain to us what is the current need in Utah for affordable housing?
The need is dire. So as someone who represents a historically redlined area, we have not just a dearth of housing for the deeply affordable, for the people we're seeing who are on the streets trying to break the cycle of things like homelessness, but at this point, we don't even have housing for teachers. Our firefighters are finding it difficult. It has to be a both and approach. While there is an element of the supply and demand, and a market correction will happen when the supply more accurately meets the demand, there are also the people who are alive right now who can't wait for that market correction. So it has to be both correcting that differential between the supply and the demand and making sure that the people who are living through us trying to correct that have places to call home. You'll see this year the Spark in my district, the Spark project, that will go from 20 to 80% AMI with units that range from studio all the way up to 4-bedroom. And included in there, there'll be child care centers and it's mixed use. So we're really comprehending that families who are struggling with housing stability aren't just struggling with a mortgage or a rent payment. They're struggling with childcare payments. They're struggling with transit fees and those things.
Well, Brandon, as a segue here, as a private developer with a passion to be creative, to provide essential housing to the community, what is available to developers today to provide capital A affordable housing that's government regulated and pure market-based solutions to providing affordable housing?
Well, on the capital A affordable, you have your traditional sources like low-income housing tax credits, which is the federal program, which is actually probably the mainstay where most affordable product gets delivered. Utah also has a lot of loan programs, both community and local, like Olene Walker, which is a huge subsidy of affordable housing. Beyond those kind of traditional sets, you have in certain tax incentive programs like what the state and city has just been supportive of is the housing transit reinvestment zone, the HTRZ zones, which do have an affordability component to it. That I would say is more the affordable with an A to it. Not many of those zones can actually overlay with federal tax credits because they're not in qualified census tracts. But the HTRZ zones themselves do have a component of affordability that really create a mixed income, not just affordable units, but mixed income units, which that level of creativity and working with the city to really help define what those are as we're rolling that out really across a lot of the new development areas within Salt Lake City is going to be, I think, a huge boon to affordability and development of affordable units.